All right, Scorpio and Ophiuchus, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for November 16th through the 22nd. My name is Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you're new to this type of astrology, do check the description down below. All right, so a lot of shifts happening this week in terms of the long-term approach, in terms of a lot of things coming to the forefront that may have once been a sort of disillusionment or even a dream sort of facing reality. I say that because Saturn is now going within a 1 degree square of Neptune here for the next few weeks through December 5th. So what's interesting is that right when Saturn gets within that 1 degree orb, Neptune goes station direct, and that usually does mean some sort of disillusionment fades, reality presents itself slowly, and that's exactly what Saturn's about. Saturn is about that reality. So this is all about our dreams, our visions meeting reality. And it's not always the easiest thing because it is that square, but it can be very constructive. So for you, it's been involving home, any visions or dreams involving home, family, your past, your roots. Over the past 5 years, it's a very slow transit of Neptune. But now Saturn squares up to this position, sort of testing it to see what is the reality of these, what is the validity of them, how can they be tangibly and practically implemented. So it's a great time to do that over these next few weeks, especially because you have Saturn in your first house. It's all about stepping into that mature, disciplined, grounded approach now for the next couple years anyways. And these few weeks, it could be actualizing slowly, but in the long term, some of these visions or dreams that you might have involving the more sentimental or roots aspect of your chart. So one thing I want to say too, with Saturn in the first house, it's through getting your energy levels moving. It's through taking action that you'll find that that's grounding you and helping you really, implement this sort of this growth. So that's going to be Wednesday. Leading up to that, the Sun does conjunct up to Mercury here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And this is a Mercury combust in your 12th house. Mercury's behind the Sun, so there could be a lot of awareness, in fact, involving the behind-the-scenes activities. It could be your mind, it could be subconscious, it could be your dream space, things like that, which already has been perhaps a focus on some regards, maybe getting that rest and relaxation. And so now as this energy unfolds from this lunar cycle, there's this passion at the early part of the week. There's this awareness because the sun always illuminates. So it's a great time to listen, especially around Tuesday. It's a great time to meditate, any of that sort of stuff, because there could be some good information coming through. And trying to ground it and trying to apply it practically, I think, is key with Mercury. And this whole week, with this whole lunar cycle, it's about continuously growing and expanding in terms of that alone time, that spiritual time out, that connection to God that is so important in life. So that's going to be that early part of the week. And then around Friday, we do have Mercury sextiling up to that north node, which is more positive energy going towards your groups, your friends, community-related things, which has been the life path for the past 2 years. There's motivation, there's drive to do that. There's even enjoyment to be had, maybe connecting to friends and things like that. But here, Mercury supporting that could be quite good. You could learn quite a bit about that 11th house. And then Venus does square up to Pluto. So there is change happening in that 11th house. And Venus does rule your 7th house of relationships. So the key with this is, Pluto is all about change. It's all about sort of creating less of an attachment to these areas of life. So it's very important to have a non-attached approach to your relationships, to those groups, to those 11th house things. And in that way, then you can really dive deep. You can really have that compassion, that meaningful connection through that non-attachment. So if you've been thinking about making change there in either of those areas, maybe even involving that spiritual time out and alone time, since Venus does rule that 12th, could be a very good couple days around Friday to do that. Now, also on Fridays, Mercury goes into your first house, into Scorpio. So I think you guys will naturally, towards the weekend, start to get more of that intellectual, communicative energy going, where it's been more behind the scenes in the 12th house. Could be, just generally more talkative, communicative, maybe thinking, reading, writing, things like that. And then as we go into the weekend, the sun does sextile up to that north node. So there is more focus, more attention, more positive energy, as there has been involving those ideals, that 11th house type of ideals, which is more community, it's more technological, it's more group oriented, and it could even be income from your work or career, especially when you're more geared towards having that personal satisfaction in whatever you might consider your career or future endeavors. Now, your ruler does sextile up to Saturn going into next week. Very nice. And on Sunday, we'll probably be feeling this one. It's that patient, disciplined energy, which could come quite easy, all things being considered, going into next week, especially when you're driven to pursue either these visions, ideals, or anything on that community level. So the emphasis this week is certainly on that Saturn squaring up to Neptune, Neptune going station direct, things shifting with the home and family stuff. Whatever it is, whatever you consider your roots there, could even be the past, and how to implement and work on that in a slow and steady way as the week unfolds. All right, Scorpio and Ophiuchus, have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.